Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Black Ocean. I am the man known as the Great Black Shark. Salute to everybody in the chat that I see coming in. Salute to Sister Rira, Dwayne Williams, Nyan Beauty, Black Ether. Everybody that's coming in tonight, please do hit that like button and share. I appreciate your patience. We had some technical difficulties yesterday, but as they say, one monkey does not stop a show, because I am in a very good mood, ladies and gentlemen. I hope most of you are too, because of course, give yourselves a round of applause if you were at the history making Rally for Reparations in DC this past Saturday. Okay. And we have all seen across the nation that Democrats are in trouble. And I'm going to be talking about particularly what happened in my great state of Georgia regarding these Smurfs, that I'll call them, these anti-black Smurfs. That's what I'm going to call them, because we have to interject some other things into the lexicon tonight, ladies and gentlemen, that I want you to take with you and keep them with you going forward in the political process, no matter what decisions that you make, especially regarding these Democrats. Now, what you see on the screen, Jim Crow Joe. Oh, yeah. We're going to have to talk about him. We got a lot to talk about tonight. I'm trying to tell you, better hold on to your seats, because Roland Martin and all the rest of them going to be pissed off at this broadcast tonight. So make sure you share this everywhere. Go ahead and smash that like button if you hadn't. Take a good look at the screen, ladies and gentlemen. What I like to do over here on my broadcast and on my platforms from time to time, I like to remind people of just how disrespectful these Democrats and other people have been to us. Now, when you look on that screen and you see Jim Crow Joe sitting up there with that desk, Those, ladies and gentlemen, are executive orders. Now you can see them stacked all around this man to the point where you can almost barely see him, stacked up like pancakes. And none of those executive orders were for us. This is like right after he got in office. Oh, that pen of his was smoking. I'm talking about signing. All that you see up there was signed for every other group. Of course, you know, the white community, they're going to get what they're going to get. LGBT, okay, they're going to get what they're going to get. White Hispanics, Asians, East Indians, one-horn, blue, purple-eyed people eaters, Afghan refugees, Ukrainian refugees. Now, because don't make no mistake about it. The stuff that's going on with Ukraine, it was signed in when he got in office. See, we're going to get into some of that later on. But see, look at that picture, right? It's time to introduce 2 new words into the lexicon when it comes to dealing with these people. First of all, that stack of executive orders, I want y'all to get these terms into your head tonight. Malevolent neglect. Malevolent neglect. Okay? It's past benign neglect at this point. This has been malevolent neglect. And see, I'm going to tell you what you do with malevolent neglect, ladies and gentlemen. What you do with malevolent neglect, this is another word that I want you to get introduced into your lexicon. Political punishment. Political punishment. That's exactly what we're going to have to start enacting on these people when they think they're going to play games with us. When we tell them either you're going to give us tangibles or you don't get our vote. That's exactly the new standard that we're setting going forward. And see, this is the thing. Don't think for a second that because they got their asses handed to them in these midterms that they're going to learn. Oh, no. They're going to test the waters and see just how serious we are. So what I'm saying tonight, and by the time this broadcast ends, hopefully it will further encourage most of you, because all of you over here are very smart people, very smart, beautiful black people over here in On Code. But I want to encourage you to keep the tradition alive, especially when it comes to the youth, so that they see when you are disrespected, again, the old moniker, the old adage, you teach people how to treat you. And see, tonight here, we're going to break down a great deal about what happened in Georgia with the numbers. I'm going to tell you why from the perspective of a Georgia native, because I salute and respect all my brothers and sisters in the new black media. But there are some things that you can only call correctly if you're from here and you understand the political climate, you understand the social climate, and you understand the racial climate. I understand all of that. I'm going to back up what I say with facts tonight. But that being said, again, before we get into this, look at that picture. In fact, share this broadcast with other people and screenshot this picture if you have to, because this was in January when he first took office, okay? Then when he came in the gate doing everything for everybody except for us, the main people that brought him to the dance, and we remember him jumping on TV, swearing up and down that he was going to have our back. Oh, he had it all right. He had it with a knife, him and the rest of the Democratic Party. But tonight, we are going to analyze what contributed to these disrespectful bastards losing. And listen, roly-poly, you know, his snack fund, the buffet master is not going to be very happy. I mean, you know, he got to stretch his little snacks out. The last king of chicken wings is perturbed. He's upset, and I'm loving every minute of it. He'll block you on social media, then he'll unblock you to talk trash. So I'm like, listen, Rolay, it's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you know, I'm gonna give him some advice, y'all, because see, you know, we can't be cruel like this. See, Rolly, if you're listening, and I know you are, he comes up to my analytics. Rolly, I'm gonna tell you what you do, buddy. It's not lost on you yet. They cut your funding. Now that's gonna happen. You just got to accept that. But what you can do, you can start getting with some black farmers, you know, and you're gonna have to do a little bit of work, fat boy, and you need it because you need to lose some weight. But you need to get out there with some black farmers and learn how to plant your own food. You know, and when you learn how to do that, you have all the snacks you need, and you eat better, you be healthier. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, hey, you might actually, I know I'm reaching, y'all bear with me. He might actually lose enough weight to have a neck. Oh man, that way you won't run around looking like a little necklace chicken nugget. But you know what? Hey, look, let's get down to business. That's enough. I'm sorry, it's a guilty pleasure. I can't stand him, you know, and for good reason. Y'all know why. But hey, I digress. we're going to get into some things tonight that I want y'all to pay close attention to. And make sure that you take notes on this, because I'm going to break this down so thoroughly that nobody's going to be able to argue with this presentation tonight. So that being said, let's handle some business, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. And by the way, too, make sure that you let me know if there are any problem with the sound.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm here to help you get it. Number one,
And this sister needs no introduction. Let me go ahead and pause it, but I'm going to give her that respect. Many of you know who this sister is on the screen. This is our dear sister, Teslin Figaro. Very smart, very intelligent, politically savvy lady. She has her own media company, and this sister is 100% on code. I don't care what nobody's saying about her. But I had to include this in here tonight because she's going to show you something in this broadcast right here, and I'm going to expand upon it because, see, these Democrats, they haven't learned their lesson yet, but they will. So let's continue.
40 million people have already voted. Georgia has had record turnout. They would have you believe that no black men at all have voted, and that's just simply not true. So rather than saying, I blame you, how about they say, I will do better? Blaming black voters or blaming black men is no different than blaming the person that got cheated on in the relationship. Perhaps if you just cooked more, I wouldn't have cheated. At the end of the day, it is about who is trying to engage these voters, and if they failed, and I want to give you this example, just bear with me quickly. David Axelrod, a white man, a top Democrat, Obama's go-to person, said the other day very clearly that Democrats have failed in their economic message. Nobody is saying that he's spreading misinformation. He said that they are not reaching out the way that they should. Hillary Rosen also said the same thing, which is a top Democrat strategist. No one is telling them, oh, well, you're just spreading misinformation or you don't know what you're doing. And I have to say this to progressives as well. They also do this racist trope, and they call it misinformed voters, low education, low information.
And I want to pause my sister right there. Now, what she just said, that's the first point we're going to focus on here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you in the chat a question, right? For the grown folks in attendance and for the young adults in attendance, okay? For those of you in here tonight, let me ask you a question. When it's time for you to conduct business or anybody's trying to sell you something or get you interested in something, is that person going to be successful at their endeavor if they talk to you like you're a child? Will that person have any type of success if they talk to you like you're a kid? Disrespectfully at that, right? So what Sister Teslin was just saying here, that's exactly how they've treated us. They come and tell us that we're uninformed. We don't know what we're talking about. We're victims of misinformation, particularly black men, because, oh, boy, I'm going to get into that later on, too, in this broadcast. But, see, they don't do that to any other group. So I'm pausing it right here to emphasize this point. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters in this chat, I know I don't have to tell you, but for those that are listening to the playback, okay, if you catch this later, it is time now to set a line of demarcation of what we will and will not tolerate anymore as black people. They have been extremely disrespectful to us, this version of the Democratic Party. We've all seen, even on my channel, I've covered the disrespectful ad campaigns that they've had to us. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I'm not going to do something just for black people. No. Oh, yeah, we've seen all of that thrown at us. So now, like I said, I want to get my people conditioned to enacting political punishment for the malevolent neglect that has been inflicted upon us. We owe these bastards. Oh, we owe them for old and new alike. And it's time for y'all to get comfortable doing that. Because, see, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. And just for those coming over here that are not familiar with me, they're going to come over here, you thought like a Republican. I am neither Republican or Democrat. I'm neither liberal nor conservative. I am for whoever is going to do something tangible for my people. Voting, again, is a business transaction. And when people come to you talking business, they don't come to you dancing and singing and talking about eating and this or that. That is so disrespectful. I'm going to tell you something, man. Some of these disrespectful Democratic politicians, they really deserve, you know what? I almost said something. They deserve to be corrected in a certain manner. I'm trying to hold that in because, see, a lot of people don't like you coming up to us playing when it's time to talk business. If you don't approach white people like that, and see, let me tell y'all something too before we get on with the rest of this here. Don't be afraid to tell any Democrat approaching you about voting. You can stop them in their tracks when the disrespect starts, when they start babbling and you don't hear them saying nothing about things specifically for black people. You go ahead and let them know, like, listen, I don't do people of color. I don't do minorities. I don't do underserved communities, none of that. I want to hear you say black, since you seeking a black person's vote. And let me make it clear to you this. If you come up here looking like some type of circus clown, dancing and all this kind of disrespectful foolishness, be quick to tell them, do you talk to your white voters like that? Go ahead and hit them in the face with it. Because, see, the reason why I'm telling you that, they don't spare any expense hitting us in the face with the disrespect. Go ahead and hit them in the face with it and let them know you mean business. So that's something I want to encourage all of you to start doing from now on when they approach you about something. You let them know it's going to be quid pro quo or get the hell out of my face. That's it. Let's let Sister Tilson continue. I want y'all to pay close attention to this. She's going to make some great points for those of you that hadn't seen it yet.
Voters when they don't get their way. It is basically a racist trope that says that black men are lazy, that they're not involved, and it is flat out a lie. And let's talk about targeting voters. Stacey Abrams said they're being targeted for misinformation. Well, guess who's being targeted for actual engagement? The Hispanic community by the GOP has strategically been targeted with over 30 plus diversity centers, with over 20 plus strategically in Latino communities, brick and mortar, that says, hey, come on in, we want to tell you about the Republican Party. And so the response to that from Democrats was, hey, well, we're doing advertisement. So rather than blaming black men, why don't you ask the Democrat Party, why is it that they have not engaged black men or black women, because we do vote together, by the way, and talk about an economic policy that we would adhere to. And so it's a...
And I got to pause one more time. She hit the nail on the head. Do not be afraid to let these bastards know that when you come talking to us, you better come talking money. If you ain't talking money like you doing, because see, look, here's the thing to do, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, you know what? Let me go ahead and put this in the chat again, because y'all already know I teach you to follow the money over here. Everything is follow the money. You follow the money, you get your answers. If you want to know, first and foremost, when they talking about, ooh, we ain't got it, where the reparations going, y'all already know what I'm finna drop in the chat. Foreignassistance.gov. I'm going to drop this in the chat a couple of times. I want y'all to go on this site. For those that are not familiar with it, you save this and you study this. It shows exactly where our taxpayer dollars are going in real time to what countries. I want you to make a routine of checking this at least every couple of weeks or however long you want, so that you have an accurate assessment of just how disrespectful it is for them to tell us what they ain't got when we come talking about economic policies. And the other side that I'm going to put in here again, if you want to know who owns your bootleg politicians like your Jim Clyburns, okay, your Weasel Warnock says, oh, I'm going to lay into him later, boy. Oh, we got so much to get to. But if you want to know who owns them, go to this site right here, fec.gov. It will show you who's donating to them, because the hand that pays is the hand that rules, as I always teach you all over here. I want you all to be very well informed, strategically informed, so that when you're talking to them, not only do you know where the money is going, not only do you know which corporations own which politicians, but you are also very well familiar with the policies. You're very well familiar with the policies. So when you're talking to these people and they start babbling, cut them off and be like, listen, my time is a non-renewable resource. Do not approach me as a black voter and waste my damn time. You come here, you talk business, and this is what I want from you before you get my vote. See, you be stern with these people. It's time out for playing games. You don't have to be apologetic. All that polite shit that's over with. They haven't been polite or respectful towards us when they've seen our situations like Jackson, Mississippi. Places like Baltimore got water problems. We seen what happened in Flint, Michigan. And there's so many other different things. There are situations down in Houston, Texas. Rolling Fat Boy, where you from? I'm finna put you on blast. That's where you from. There's situations down there where they got all types of bad situations, like Cancer Alley situations down there, right? It's really bad down there. A lot, and it's being done deliberately to the black residents. I hadn't heard Roland mention none of that. There's a creosote problem down there, and nobody's talking about that. So while he's always trying to point fingers over here and talk about what we don't do and this and that, you're not even taking care of business in your hometown, fat boy. Unless I guess they hadn't invited him back for some snacks or some barbecue or something. You know, I'm trying to leave him alone, but I'm just saying, he been taking shots at everybody. We're going to take some shots back tonight. because see, he still got a bug in his ass about that reparations rally, which showed thousands of us show up on code. Oh yes, and yes, brothers and sisters, yes, for those of you wondering, I will be covering that and the Kyrie Irving situation. Yes, I was there, but I was on a different assignment. Some of us have to be unseen to make sure certain things do not occur and to make sure that the family is safe. And every black man was out there, was on that. The sisters too. You see, while we're talking about that, because like I said, I got a broadcast probably coming up tomorrow about the reparations rally. I'm going to show you all some things. But while we're talking about that, we need to get into the habit of that for those of you that were there. And Brother Tariq is going to release that footage very soon of the entirety, the thing in entirety there. We have to get in the habit of how everybody was out there in that crowd. Everybody was on a family-oriented, look out for each other vibe. Anything funny was going on, brothers and sisters was aware of it. Because, see, unfortunately, when we look back at our history and we see situations like where Dylan Roof walked up in a church and killed all those innocent black people, we got to get to the point where we do what the Jews do and say never again. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. They was thinking about it. It was some individuals out there thinking about it, but they got their mind changed real fast. We'll leave it at that. But back to what we're talking about here tonight. We're going to have to make sure that we hold this line as far as politically punishing. I'm going to keep saying that repeatedly tonight because I want it to stick. Politically punishing these Democrats for the disrespect that they've handed us. And see, as far as black men in Georgia, let me tell y'all something, man. A lot of us set it out. And when I get to the portion where we break these numbers down, I'm going to go into further detail about why. And then you had some people actually do the protest vote. You all know how I feel about that. But hey, as long as it's to punish these damn Democrats. And there's a way to do a protest vote strategically. You know, when you do the protest vote strategically, what you do is say, okay, listen, we're against this candidate over here, this damn Democrat. But in order for you to keep getting this vote, we're going to need something from you next time. It ain't going to be no free rides. Don't get used to that just because we voted for you this time. And you go ahead and talk to them about what you expect if they want your support next time. Because, yes, both parties are white supremacist parties. But again, we're not talking about feelings. We're talking about business. So it's going to have to come times where we engage them on both sides and let them know. Because, see, the Democrats, they're taking notes right now. Because, see, the reason why, if a lot of you wonder why they still try what they try, you better take a good look at those disrespectful campaigns. Pick anyone. There's so many out there, but any one of those disrespectful campaigns where they show black people like that, they really do believe that the greater majority of us think that way. They do. They think, okay, we'll appeal to them talking about sex and smoking weed and eating chicken. Like I saw Beto O'Rourke over there in Texas, disrespectful ass. He got stomped over there. Greg Abbott put the wood to him. So, I mean, they really do try to appeal to the lowest common denominator amongst us. So as black people, as loving and forgiving as we are, if you wonder why I'm so vitriolic towards these bastards, we are the most loving people on this planet. But my brothers and sisters, we have to get to a point where we put that forgiveness up. There is a time to stop forgiving people, especially after they've consistently disrespected you and done you wrong. You don't owe these people anything. They owe us. They owe us a lot. There is no way that we should take our foot off their necks anytime soon. Like I said, and we're going to have to get to the point where anytime that they approach us, if they even think about singing, dancing, bringing up anything, and we're going to let them know no entertainers speak for us either. You know, I respect and salute the ones that are on code. I really do. But unless they're following our message, a lot of them can't be trusted to speak for us. Okay? A lot of them can't. So we got to let them know that this is grassroots driven. Okay? That's why that reparations rally in D.C. was so important. Things that are grassroots driven. See, in other words, many of you have probably heard this saying. Change doesn't come from the top down. Change starts from the bottom up. Okay? We are the economy beneath these people's feet. And see, for anybody that's always talking about, well, we're not even that big of a population. Okay, I'm going to say this again to those that think that way. See, we use common sense as a weapon over here on this platform. If anybody starts talking like that, ask yourself this one question. Would these people in the Democratic Party go out of their way with all these advertising dollars running around aggravating the hell out of us, sending us these bogus text messages, trying to get us to vote if we were such a tiny, insignificant part of the population or the voter base? Let that sink in for anybody that try to make that argument. See, in this country, they have gotten us to a point where they make us think less of ourselves. See, that's how you keep control of cattle or a slave. You make them think less of themselves, okay? You see a constant bombardment of it in the media. You see a constant bombardment of it when they put these goofy entertainers up in front of us promoting all types of degeneracy to our people. You see it when the politicians approach us. See, all of this I'm mentioning, I'm saying it for a reason because I want you all to understand what conditioning does to a people. If that is a steady drumbeat at you and you are not locked in into black empowerment, learning about your history and around other on code people, that starts to erode your integrity and your self-respect to the point that when you see all these people dancing around for catfish nuggets and the like, they've succumbed to it. You have to be vehement and vitriolic towards people disrespecting you. You don't deserve that, black people. We deserve the best in this country. And I'll be damned if we're not going to get it. But with that said, I'm going to let Sister Tislin continue here. I want y'all to take notes on this and see children should be taught these things, especially if they're in their teens, so that it becomes a tradition and a thought process that they carry forward as they get older when they become voting age. You teach them self-respect early on anyway, but definitely when it comes to handling business, because see, you know, one day they're going to be the ones making the decisions that run society. Okay, and they need to know what they deal with on all levels. So let's continue.
Lie. It is a racist truth. It is something that is designed to blame and beat black men with a public scolding when they don't get their damn way. And it has to stop for running this as well. Misinformation is teaching. They're not confused. You know, black men, I just went to a reparations rally on Saturday. Thousands of people showed up, more so black men. And they showed up with less than a 2-week notice, with no rapper as a headline, with no political party that pushed it, with no political official that pushed it, with less than 2 weeks, Bree. I've seen political elected officials that can't get 50 people in the room at best. So black men are engaged, but they may not be engaged. They may not be feeling you. Thing is actually dating somebody, then engaging, and then getting married. Black men are engaged. They just ain't feeling you. So what do you have to do? Come back to the table and say, how can I bring you on? But also don't discredit black men who vote Democrat. But also understand, guess what? Black men are also conservative. And that's just something they're going to have to deal with.
Okay, now, I love the analogy that sister just gave. And it's very important for us to have people like this sister speaking on code, because see, I'm gonna say something right now. I've seen some idiots disrespecting this sister. Y'all can go to hell, man. Y'all talking about whether this sister is FBI or not. Listen, she's already made it clear that half of her lineage is Latino and half of her lineage is black. She's half FBA. And as far as I'm concerned, if her lineage was all Latino, which is not, if she's on code like this, I'll take her any day over a full-blooded coon like a Roland Martin. You know what I'm saying? I would. Any day of the week, okay? So I want to get that out of the way. But see, let's understand something about why our sisters that have access to the media that are on code are so important. And this is something else that I want to see cultivated as time goes on. If you're going to go and work at these major networks, you need to be like this sister. She's got her own independent media company. Okay, she's very savvy at what she does, so they often seek her expertise to speak on these things. Okay, now why is it so important? A lot of y'all like, why are you bigging up Tislin? Why are you saying that about black women? Let me explain something to you. You know damn well they're not gonna let no black men get on TV and talk like that, because see, they look at us as the power component of our society, since we're the builders and the protectors. No disrespect to our sisters. What the point that I'm making is every one of us has a role, okay? And our sisters, if they're going to be strategic communicators, pushing the line about our agenda, yes, I'm saying push the line. Everybody should check out Tislin's program. I'm going to have that information later in the broadcast here. But see, we need them in front of these mainstream media networks, speaking this way, articulating exactly what the people want as a whole, not on some gender warring, not women over men, men over women. We operate together. And see, that's one thing that these Democrats are shocked at. They really did think that the gender divide BS was gonna work. But see, I'm gonna say something. Democrats, if you listening, and you probably will come across this broadcast, I'm going to speak to you as a full-blooded foundational black American man. I'm going to let you know exactly how much trouble you are in with black women, those that are on code across the nation. Y'all had never been black a day in your life. You hadn't. I've been a black man all of my life, and I'm going to tell you something that every black man in this chat room knows. If you play with our sisters, yeah, you can fool them sometime. Yeah, you'll get a couple, get them over, and then sometimes they'll find out about it and they'll forgive you and give you another chance to do what's right. But the one thing that you do not want after your ass is a pissed off black woman that has seen the light. And our sisters have seen the light, because see, now, instead of you blowing smoke up black women's asses, the greater majority of them now are like, yeah, I've been hearing that, but where these tangibles at? When I go to these websites and look at these policies for these other people, when I look around at these other communities, they getting tangibles left and right. They running around, got money coming out their ears. Oh man, they doing the money dance and everything. You got all the rest of them doing the money phone. You know, the rappers doing the money phone. That's exactly what these other groups are doing now. So now sisters are saying, okay, since that's what you want to do, you just want to give me some worthless compliments here, but my community is hurting, and our men as a whole are being forgotten, because those are the ones that are really going to bring home the bacon for us. When we start businesses, oftentimes we hire other people and give them jobs. No disrespect to our sisters, but a lot of times when the sisters open up businesses, it's sole proprietorships. Not all, but a lot. So see, when you look at things from a strategic standpoint, and you have our sisters looking at that, black women are tired of that. They're like, no, I'm tired of watching Mei-Ling and Becky and Esmeralda and all the rest of them doing good, and we're not. I want some of that. That's what our sisters are saying. So you in trouble, Democrats. It's over. Everything now on with black women is going to be what the bottom line is. They are looking at these policies, okay? They are having conversations about these bills. They're looking at how much money is these other different communities. They're looking at what you them, and then you turn around and tell other people, hey, yeah, you can get it. Come on in. It's over with. You ain't going to be able to run the same current game. Now, I know you really do believe that you're going to be able to trot some people back out there. Tiffany Cross, you seen what they did to you. You seen what they did to you. And see, look, let's talk about Tiffany Cross for a minute before we get on with this. Don't you know that black women are watching that? And they're looking at, okay, if you did that to her, I know damn well you don't have any respect for me. And she was towing the line hard. Y'all seen the tap dancing Tiffany was doing. Oh, man. I mean, that's embarrassing, dude. That's embarrassing. I don't like to see, look, man. Those of us over here that are well-studied, we know that when white supremacy is done with its tools, it breaks them. And Tiffany made the mistake of doing one thing. You can talk about your own people all day long on TV. They'll let you do that. That's what you're there for. When she started criticizing Megyn Kelly, even though that's considered the rival, this goes to show you how white supremacy stays on code, and them little political titles don't mean nothing, even in the media. Megyn Kelly is still a white woman. And they were like, whoa, niggers, you going too far. Nah, hold up. We got to punish you for this. See, sisters, understand something. I'm speaking of the Tiffany Cross situation because it correlates to exactly what we see going on with Kyrie Irving right now. See, they break you too. When you get so confident, overconfident, thinking that you in good with these people, and then you overstep the line thinking that you can say what the white women say, they put you back in your place. Because, see, you are there to be a servant. That's what you're there for. And, see, now that sisters have started to see that, they're like, oh, no, that's over with. And I'm so proud of you, sisters. I am. Nationwide. I really am. Because, see, you need to be encouraged to make the right decisions. And we work together as a unit. The conversations that black men and black women are having now is about our present and our future. And as far as politics is concerned, okay, it's going to be one of two things. It's either we're going to withhold our vote until either party comes with it. Some may do a strategic protest vote, okay. Or we're going to do what Sister Tesla is going to be talking about here. We put our own candidates, run them so that we can support them and they push our agenda and we vote for them. That is the new way under the sun, whether they like it or not. That's what's going to happen. So with that said, I'm going to let Sister Tesla continue here because we got a lot more to get to.
But why is, let me ask you this, Bree. When white women flipped on the Democrat Party and they voted for Obama and then flipped with Trump to line up with their white men, when Hispanics has consistently flipped, you know this by working on the Bernie Sanders campaign, that the Latino community in Florida voted to the right, that the Latino community in California voted to the left. Why are those groups looked at as strategic voters? Why are those groups looked at as, oh, they're just well informed and they're leveraging their vote? Why is it when it comes down to black voters, and particularly black men, it is this push on where you just don't know what you're talking about, or maybe if you just had a little bit more information, or perhaps you should just fall in line. That is a problem that is much more deeper than just a political analysis, conversation. It is about, let's go ahead and tie men up on the pole and let's give them a shellacking. That's what this is. And we have to push back at that. And to black men that are saying, hey, I want them to know that they need to respect us, so I'm glad that we get the blame. I say this, I want them to respect you, but respecting you is not blaming you. In a relationship, respecting you is saying, I will do better. I will start cooking. I will do all the things I said I was going to.
So I want to pause my sister right there, right? Okay. And I love and respect this sister. But here's something I have to add to what the sister just said. I get what she's saying, but I'm going to tell you why I want them a exercise power. As we all know, people don't give you power. You have to take that figuratively and politically punishment wise. Political punishment wise, we have to grab these bastards by the throat, choke them out, put them on the ground, and stand over them and say, I did this to you politically. Yes, blame me. I did it. I am giving you what you gave me and my community. This is payback time. Oh, yes, blame me. Yes, do blame me. And you're going to do better if you want to do any type of political business with me. That's how we're going to have to get at this point, because, see, I've seen a lot on social media, and bless y'all sisters heart, I love you. I really do. But see, a part of being men and standing up, a lot of the sisters, because they love us, they're like, hey, man, y'all leave the brothers alone. Stop that. Stop blaming black men. No, let them blame us. Let them blame us. It's got to be just like I stated, because, see, a part of commanding respect as a man means that your equivalent or your counterpart, they know not to fuck with you like that. That's what type of time we need to be on. You see what I'm saying? Across the board, no matter which political affiliation you're leaning with, you better make sure you come to the table with these people and let them know that you are a black man and you will respect me, because I am the head of my community. I am responsible for the protection, the provision, the security, the education, and everything else in my community that needs to be built. I am the tip of the spear when it comes to that. Salute our women. They are an integral part of that community, part of that community process, should I say. But our role has to be out front on the battlefield saying, listen, this is the way it's going to be, or else. That's where we at with it. Okay? That's where we at with it. Especially if you're raising sons. That's what they need to see. See, when you're doing the right thing for your people, I don't know about you brothers, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm willing to be the villain if I know that what I'm doing is in the best interest of my people. I don't care who gets mad at me. I don't care who likes it. I'm not looking to make no friends with nobody, especially outside of my community. I could give a damn what they think about me. You going to do right by me and my people. Because, see, you got to understand something. At the end of the day, I'm going to show y'all something. See, I'm old school Georgia Southern over here, man. Georgia Southern, traditionally raised masculine black man. Let me tell you something, right? This is the reason why I take that so seriously. And again, no disrespect to this sister, because what she's saying is right. But from a male perspective, here's the deal. If you in a marriage, right? We're going to go there because that was an excellent analogy that she gave. If you in a marriage, okay, brothers, for those of us that are worth a damn, if there's a situation where your family is in the house and the lights get cut off, ain't no food in the house, y'all get evicted. Nobody's going to look at that woman that you married to, your wife, and say, damn, shit, why you let them lights get cut off? Why y'all ain't got no food? No, they're going to look at the husband like, hey, bro, what's going on with that? Damn, how you let that get there? You see what I'm saying? Do y'all understand what I'm saying in the chat room? There's no disrespect to our sisters. What I'm saying is, this is what black male leadership looks like. You take a defiant and an assertive stance against disrespect, especially when it comes to handling this political business. And like I said, I'm not saying that this sister didn't articulate that right. I'm just saying this is the type of time we got to be on as black men when it comes to these politics. So with that being said, let's let her continue here.
When I decide to marry you, not saying, well, you should have did better.
All right, so now this is what I wanted to get to. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, I love this right here. Because, see, what you're looking at on your screen right now, these Georgia breakdown numbers. Now, a lot of you probably seen this, but I'm going to break it down to you and explain exactly why those numbers are the way they are and what they mean. Because, see, this is the thing, right? I've heard people give a lot of assessments that are not from Georgia, okay? But I'm going to show you what these numbers mean. Now, we're going to break this down line by line. Look at the top. As you see, it says sex by race, okay? You see Stacey Abrams, the Democrat, Brian Kemp, the Republican, and this goofy libertarian white supremacist named Hazel here. That goofball was in the way third-party candidate. He's irrelevant. We ain't gonna even discuss him. Clown was pushing that accelerationism. If you want to know what that is, look on this channel. I've done broadcasts about it. But let's get into what these numbers mean, right? Okay, so as you see, white men, all right, 31% of them here, and you see they have 23% saying that they voted Democrats in support of Abrams. Understand that when you see white men in the state of Georgia voting Democrat, that's a part of the LGBTQ community. I'm just going to tell it like it is. See, we're going to give you the stuff that you wouldn't know unless you live here tonight. Okay? So that's part of the LGBTQ community. That other 76% that you see voting for the Republicans, I've been telling people this for the longest. I've been saying it on all my platforms because a lot of people that don't live here got this misconstrued when they was running around talking about they flipped Georgia blue. Georgia has never been a blue state. This is not a blue state. This is a staunch conservative Republican state. People can say what they want. That crap that they pulled with that election wasn't going to go down this time. That's why they changed those laws here. And I personally don't have a problem with it. It's not hard to vote in Georgia. You have to have an ID to do everything else. You have to have an ID to drive. Okay. You have to have an ID to fill out and get a job. You know, have to have an ID to go and get a passport. I mean, so there's no issue with the voter ID thing. It was pushing that. Oh, it's the poll tax and Jim Crow. Get out of here with that. That's not what that is. So let's go down here to the white women, right? 27% of them. I'm going to tell you what that 27% of them that voted for Stacey Abrams was all about. Those are the Beckys that champion deletion of children. That's who they are. Okay, so now when you go over here and look at the 72% that voted for Brian Kemp, they ain't with that. See, understand something about the state of Georgia. This is one of the most racist states in the country, one of the most anti-black states in the country. It is very segregated in many areas. Okay, a lot of people look at Atlanta and think that represents the entire state. It does not. Okay, and even there, it's still segregated in certain situations. But see, you better understand that white men and white women here in this state, right here in Georgia, they are 100% on code. So the reason why you see more of the women supporting Kemp, they ain't with trying to get rid of them kids no more, because they know them white men are like, listen, now these numbers is low down here. We got to get these numbers up. They're not playing about that. They're serious about that. See, these are conversations that you wouldn't hear if you're not from here, okay? We're gonna break this down while you're seeing what these numbers are, right? Okay, so keep that in mind about the white crowd. They gonna stay rocking Republican no matter what. The few little small percentage of them that go over there to the Democrats, I mean, it's so minute, as you can see, it doesn't even really matter. So now, let's get down here to where black men are, right? Now, you see this 84% right here that voted for Stacey Abrams? That right there is the old school church and boomer crowd. That's who they are, because the greater majority of black men down here set it out. That's the old school church and boomer crowd, and that's the black male LGBTQ crowd down here. That's who ran out to support her. Okay, them the only two main groups amongst black men, because see, most black men were like, nah, bro, I'm sitting it out, which is why you can tell by this number here, most set it out. Now, when you look at that 14% that decided to do the protest vote and vote Republican, you can still see that's a small number, because most black folks down here, you know, even though the conservatives and the Republicans do have policies that are better for us, like, you know, getting some of this immigration under control, not putting stuff in these schools that are trying to sexually confuse our children, you know, ain't none of us with that. Let children be children. So, you know, they do have a lot of policies outside the anti-black racism that is better for our party. But see, that 14% of us, that go to show you that that voted Republican, for those that did, that goes to show you the rest of the brothers set it out. Okay. So now when you look down here at the black women portion of this chart, right? 93% voted for Stacey Abrams. Again, that's that boomer church crowd. And unfortunately, I got to tell it like it is. That's the thotty karate crowd down here. The irresponsible heifers that, you know, don't want to choose right and get in situations where you got to even be worried about having a deletion of a child. Now, you see this 6% over here. You had a couple of sisters that are actually, and this has been going on more in Georgia, that are actually considering trying to either protest vote Republican or just outright start supporting them on some things, because they tired of getting played like that. Okay, so now let's get down here to this Latino men section right here. Now you see 55% of them voted for Stacey Abrams, right? Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all something y'all might not know about a lot of them down here. First of all, they all identify as white down here. Don't get it twisted. The ones down here in Georgia identify as white too. Okay, that 55%. You got a lot of them that's in, I'll call it the kaleidoscope community. Yeah, they rocking LGBT down here. Some of them, you know, a lot of tacos have rainbow, you know, frills coming from the taco or whatever. So they decided to go and run and support Stacey Abrams. Now, the other 44% that voted for Brian Kemp of the Latino men, they're more in line with their conservative values, right? That's why they supported him. Okay, now their women down here, I'm gonna tell you something. You got a lot of these little taco studs running around down here, believe it or not. Yeah, some of them down here on that. So usually when you see them numbers like that, that's who kind of ran over to support them. They ain't really with the deletion of children like that. But see, the other 43% of them that voted for Brian Kemp down here, the Latino women that is, they're more in line with their traditional values, all right? Okay, and they identify as white, again, to reiterate. Now, this other section down here, that's these other, that's like the Asian folks down here. That's like, you know, they're 50% voted for like Abrams, and then the other 47%, because we have a few little sprinkles of other groups down here that are starting to move over here because the cost of living is a bit lower. It's about 30% cheaper to live down here in Georgia than other places, even right now with this inflation, even though we don't like it, because I'm going to tell y'all something, man. What a lot of y'all don't realize, man, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out here, man. A lot of my Georgia natives are gonna be like, man, don't be telling the people that, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep it real with y'all, man, because I do love my people, right? If you living out in California or up in New York, man, two of the places with the highest real estate it is, man, you'll do better. And I'm not, you know, I'm not saying that you don't have ties and family there, but you would do better to move to either Texas, somewhere like Houston, Dallas, whatever, or come on over here to Georgia. If it's not Atlanta, you got Warner Robins, you got Macon. Okay, you want to go further south, you got Albany. We got plenty of decent communities down here where your money will go a lot further, okay, especially when it comes to buying a home and everything. Even in this inflation, see, what we're so pissed off about down here, man, listen, if you got a good career or you a business owner down here, man, yo, you ain't really worrying about no bread down here like that in Georgia, for the most part, okay? Now, for people that choose to live a certain lifestyle now, okay, yeah, you gonna pay for that. You know, there are places down here where you can be paying through the nose and living pretty good. But even then, I will say this, most of those places that you pay like that, you know, living in Georgia, they're worth the money. You ain't gonna be in no little tuna can or nothing like you are in California or New York, you know, and you got some space down here too. One of the things that a lot of people that move here find that, okay, when you move to certain areas, it's very quiet. Okay, it's very quiet. When it's time to go to sleep or whatever, you ain't really got to worry about a whole lot of noise depending on what kind of neighborhood you in. So A lot of people are getting accustomed to that. I know, but we got to tell our brothers and sisters the truth, because a lot of folks from Georgia don't be like, man, don't be telling people to come down here, man. We can't treat our people like that. They need to know this information. They need to know it. So, with that being said, let's get down here to this part where they're showing about race as a whole, because we just broke it down 6 by race. They're looking at across the nation. All right, now you see the white folks over here, 74% pretty much voted Republican. Then 25% voted Democrat. Okay, now what does that tell you about this country? Something I said for the longest time. The greater majority of the country is conservative. I mean, the numbers are showing. You see, you can argue with people all day long, but you're not going to be able to argue with these numbers. Okay, not going to be able to argue with these numbers. So for the people that's up there, man, this is nope. The numbers say otherwise. We see it. And the Democratic crying is going to show you that these numbers are accurate too. Okay, so then when you look at black folks, nationwide, we still got some work to do. I said that's that boomer crowd, and a lot of people that can be entertained by, catfish nuggets and all that goofiness, because Westmoreland should have never been elected up there. I ain't going to go there. I don't want to raise my blood pressure, even though I don't have high blood pressure. I will talking about that. But you see, we still got a lot of work to do on the grassroots nationwide, which is why events like that reparations rally is important. Because, see, I'm going to tell you something right now. I saw something, particularly in our community. A lot of the young black people that either didn't protest vote, they sat it out. You know why? Let me tell you why that's a good thing, right? And this is why we better get on our job as far as like making sure we educate these young black people and be very patient with them. If they come to you asking you about politics and the political process, they're trying to figure it out, brothers and sisters. They're sitting back saying, okay, look, I don't want to make an irresponsible decision, so I'm going to wait and see what's going on. I'm going to wait and try to make sure that, okay, am I going to be able to make my vote count and do the right thing and get something in exchange for it? They're trying to understand things. So if a young person asks you a question about the political process, be patient with them. Sit down and talk to them about these things. Show them sites that I put in the chat earlier tonight, so you can show them where all this money is going, so that they have a firm command of the decisions that they're making, because they want to be involved. They do. And see, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to tell y'all something. Coming up in this national election, 2024, you're going to see a huge turnout of young black voters. Either they're going to be voting for tangible policies, because, see, let me be clear. You finna see a couple things. Mark my words. I'm saying it right now. Democratic Party going to stay hard-headed, but they're going to start toying around with trying to do things for black people. And y'all already know what I say over here. I say, okay, since you've been hard-headed and we must politically punish you for your malevolent neglect of our people, you can't just come and say, hey, vote for me, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear that no more. I don't care what you got wrote down on paper. Anytime they come to us, they must come with proof of concept policy in hand. In other words, whatever you wrote down that you say is for black people, I need to see it in action. Don't come to me with what you propose to do. Come to me with something that I didn't know about that you were doing, and say, hey, look, we got this going on. You can get this amount of business funding, this or that, particularly for black people, no minorities, no nothing. We need to see that. That's what we're gonna have to tax them, brothers and sisters. See, when somebody play with you like that, in other words, think about somebody that owe you some money and you putting interest on it. We putting political interest on these bastards from now on. So they're going to have to come with proof of concept policy in hand, and make sure you tell them this up front. Be like, listen, before you get my vote, I need to see you already doing something. Show me what I'm investing in. Sell me on it. We're going to make them work for this. And see, the Republicans, they're going to be looking at these little few gains that they got with the black people that did a protest vote. This is where it comes into being strategic at. For those that did it, okay, you need to be making sure that you're in contact with them, saying, listen, if you want to get this again and you want larger turnout, this is what I'm going to need you to do. They're going to have to come up off of that. Oh, we don't want to do it because we're going to offend our voter base. They're going to be all right. I don't give a damn about that. They offend us every day. If you want these votes, if you want to vote with us, you're going to have to give us something for it. Ain't going to be no 50, 60 years voting for Republicans or none of that, and you ain't giving us nothing. Nah, you're going to have to come up off that. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. So now let's go on down here to the Latino part, right? All right, now, for me, this is the only part that I think they made a mistake on when they saying that nationally, because these are national numbers we're looking at down here at the bottom. They're saying that 55% of Latinos voted for the Democrats, and 43% for supported the Republicans. I think that number is more higher towards the Republican side because most of them nationwide do identify as conservative. They really do. Okay. So now the Asians, we all know they don't really vote like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't. That's why their numbers are so low. You see, they are nationally, they usually more than likely would try to support like the Republicans when they do, which is why I believe that 46% is a little bit higher. And they're saying it's 54% the Asian community nationally that voted for the Democrats, and the other 3% would be like your people from the islands and what have you. So that's a quick breakdown of exactly what went on here in Georgia and across the nation. You know, and see, I have to make sure I start speaking more about what's going on in Georgia because, you know, again, respect all the brothers and sisters that give their takes on it, but there's some things you can only predict accurately if you live here, right? So that's something I'm going to start doing more of on this channel. So now with that being said, we got a lot more to get into here. Let's get on with it and make sure that you are hitting that like button and sharing. Salute to everybody that just came in. I see you all. But we going to get some straightening over here tonight. It's going to all make sense by the time this is over. Okay, so now this is what I wanted to pull up next here and focus on, right? So you had a lot of people that saw the reparations rally. They saw it was a success. You know, they were going to be hating on it. Oh, they got so much to say. You even got knuckleheads trying to claim it wasn't that many people out there. That is beyond laughable for anybody that was out there. It was close to damn near 4,000 people out there, man. You know, and I'm just being on the conservative end of it. But this is our sister Tesla and Figaro's here. This is her next action steps, her suggestions, right? Okay. And as you see here on the screen, it's got a website up there, which I do encourage all of you to go and check out. She has a program on it called Push the Line, which teaches you how to engage in the political process. It's nonpartisan, so you don't have to be one political party or the other to go and learn these things. If you have any young person that's in their 20s or what have you that would like to run, encourage them to check this out. And I'm telling you, you don't have to worry about professionalism. I know a lot of people be talking about way she talking all that. That sister is a class act if you ever meet her in person. So you wouldn't have to worry about, you know, if it's going to be professionally run or whatever. You're going to go there, have a good time, but you're going to learn something too. Trust me on that. So here's the next action steps for people like Roly Poly, the last king of chicken wings. What's next? What y'all going to do next? Okay, Roly, we got something for you next. These are some suggestions here. And we're going to read them. Okay. So do more in 2024 by either running for state or local office. You can make an immediate impact to start your state reparations task force. If you do not want to run for office, then encourage someone you know to run for office and then volunteer for their campaign. You see this? This is how it works. This is how you be systematic about taking control of the political process. Candidates, you must start working in your community now. Twitter is national awareness. It doesn't help much with actually winning your hometown seat. Elections are won on the ground, not on Twitter. So she's putting that in proper perspective. It's good to communicate on Twitter, what have you, but you got to get out there and put some boots to the pavement if you want to get something accomplished with like minds. Even if it's a small number, it doesn't take a large number of people to get great progress and change done in your community. You can get change done with as much as 5 like-minded people that are dedicated to doing something, right? Okay. So here's the thing. Twitter is great for fundraising and awareness, but not so great for winning your seat. You must start knocking on doors for 2024. Do this now. More doors in 2024. Number 2 suggestion. More places over Twitter Spaces, as she's been emphasizing. If you do not want to run for office, learn how to organize on and offline. And those of you that are over here, some of you that work with me, you know I do both. Okay, attend the free Push the Line training to learn a few key tools to help you. Okay, and it's got information where you can text Push the Line, all one word, to the number 66866. That's 66866 to learn about the online or in-person free training. Again, free training. Free training. Before I go on, let me tell you, brothers and sisters, something that, especially those of you that are young over here, anytime somebody give you some free game on something, you take it. Even if it's not your immediate area of expertise, that's free game that you can learn later and possibly teach someone else, okay? So I just want to emphasize that. All right, so now, suggestion number 3, start a 527 super PAC. For those that don't know what that means, a political action committee. If you love being on Twitter, you should consider starting a 527 to create online awareness around reparations. Suggestion number 4, push for we in 2023. In 2023, the California Reparations Task Force will need your help to spread the word about the findings in California. Again, Twitter space talking to people all over the country does not effectively reach California voters. You must reach actual California voters by knocking on the doors, town halls, literature drops, or phone banking, etc. A 527 super PAC can help you do this, okay? So now, as you just heard, those things that I just read you know where else those things were talked about, ladies and gentlemen? Those things right there I just read off on that list and much more were covered at the reparations rally in DC. So for all the knuckleheads talking about what's next, oh man, people are working over here, buddy. Let me tell you something, man. One thing about the grassroots over here in new black media spaces, I've made this point to several people that have criticisms about it, and I told people this: when you over here on these platforms and you see people in these chat rooms, whether it's 5,500, 550, whatever the case may be, people are over here not just to listen to somebody talk, not just to be entertained. People are over here trying to gather information so they can take it offline and put in work. That's what's going on over here. I mean, people don't understand how close-knit we are. And see, here's the thing. If anybody now, and they know who they are that I've talked to, still doubts me on that, then tell me why damn near 4,000 people showed up at that DC rally, huh? Never mind whether you like Tariq or not. See, that's another thing we better start putting to the side when it comes time to take care of political business. This ain't about like. Leave that like for school children. If you're a grown adult and you out your teens, you ain't no toddler running around here talking about like, put that up, man. If you still running around here talking about like as an adult, you need to go and get some Huggies or something. Let us know. Hey, we can throw a couple of dollars at you so you get you some pampers to put on, and you go sit over there in the goofy corner while we handle grown folks' business. That's what it's all about over here. So I just wanted to take the time to break that down to you all. Excuse me. Okay? Just want to take the time to break that down to you all because, see, we got to get to the point. We got to get to the point where we start talking about exactly what the next steps are and how to organize. So now, the next part that came up here, okay, I jumped the gun on this one. We're going to get into Miss Tiffany Cross again. Because, see, the thing that you need to do when you're thinking about these things from the political perspective, you analyze it from a warfare standpoint because politics is warfare. Whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, politics is warfare. So, in hindsight, in any battle, any victory, okay, any loss, you go back and look at what led up to these things. And we're going to play Miss Tiffany Cross's words again here. I'm not rubbing it in. I want people to have it fresh on their minds in conjunction with everything else you're going to see over here tonight, why the Democrats got treated the way they did. Let's let her talk.
Point here. I will say, you know, a lot of black men sometimes feel like they're ignored or they're put down, particularly sometimes even by black women in the media.
Now we don't feel like that. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, so this is not that. But I do hear...
It is that, Tiffany. You're about to do it.
Roland's point, they felt ignored. But you feel like...
You know she messed up when she said Roland had a point.
The oppressed feel oppressed, so then you go and try to align with the oppressor. So I'm not putting black men down, but sometimes it's like, well...
Don't you hate when somebody tell you that that's not what they're doing and they proceed to do that? Y'all, look, Democrats and hard-headed Democrat shields, whether you male or female, you gonna get out of this trying to piss in our direction over here and tell us it's yellow rain. That's over with. The game is over for that. I'm telling you.
Some of you Kevin Samuels following Tariq Nasheed quoting people.
See, let's pause right there because, see, again, a lot of people probably didn't really drill home on this. That was a bad move. I will be very upfront. Everybody knows that I disagree with Kevin Samuels as far as things on race and his political viewpoints, which he did not discuss much on his channel, but on other channels, Kevin made it very clear that he was a conservative. That is completely distasteful and classless to talk about that dead man. Leave that man alone, man. It would have been another thing if the brother was still above ground here so he could respond if he chose to. Don't do that, because see, I'm gonna tell you why that was stupid, right? And for anybody that's got an issue with Kevin, get out your feelings and listen to what I'm about to say. Understand that when you mention Kevin Samuels, again, the brother was a conservative. Most of the guys in the black manosphere are conservatives, okay? Now, a lot of them are coons. Not all, but a lot. But most of them are conservatives. Now, let's break this down why that was very stupid of her to do that. Whether you like him or not isn't important. Whether I had disagreements with the brother or not important. The people that respected Kevin Samuels, they took that shit personal. I found it distasteful to talk about that dead brother, man. Let that man rest in peace. But see, they took that personal. See, again, whether you like him or not, he meant a lot to them brothers over there in the manosphere. Not just here, but he had an international audience. So we're going to deal with right here in America why that was a dumb thing to do. When she said that galvanized every brother over there in that manosphere space to go and do what they was already going to do. They went and voted conservative. I promise you that. So that was a very stupid thing to do, Tiffany. See, sometimes when you put your foot in your mouth, man, you think that you taking shots at somebody, you do more harm than good. Let's go to our brother Tariq Nasheed. Here's the problem, right? And this brother can speak for himself because he's above ground and with us. But I'm going to point this out why that was a dumb thing for her to do right there. There was a time when the old black media, which is what she was a part of, there was a time when the old black media wouldn't dare mention any of us with these channels and platforms by name at all. Which lets you know we've turned a corner when they start calling any of us out by name on Twitter, and especially on their mainstream media networks, because we were supposed to be Russian bots and the ghosts that didn't exist, and they just online talk. Okay, yeah. You know you're desperate when you start calling people out by name. One of the things that I don't like, and I will never respect when you take issue with anybody, but in this case we're talking about Brother Tariq, instead of you talking disparagingly about him and talking about people quoting him, find where the brother's telling a lie on anything. Dispute that. Y'all ever notice that? And I want to teach young people here something, young black men and women in attendance. When somebody has an issue with you and they start speaking that way, see whether they go ahead and address what you said is a lie or is it the truth. Because see, if they can't say, hey, this is why I have an issue with this person told a lie, show some proof, back it up, you ain't talking about nothing. Everything you saying is in bad faith after that. It really is, okay? So see, when she did this, she didn't understand that, and I'm gonna speak for the brothers on this, okay? Sisters, you know what I'm saying, don't like being talked to down any kind of way either, but particularly as black men, this is something I want y'all to understand, Democrats. You talk to us as if we are not college graduates. You talk to us as if we're not elders that have lived a long time and have life experience. You talk to us like we're not fathers. You talk to us like we're not professionals in our community. You talk to us, even when it comes down to the brothers on the street, you think that the average street brother, which doesn't always mean criminal, you think that the average street brother don't have no type of common sense and don't read, don't check out nothing. Now you have learned that you are sorely mistaken. And we have been greatly offended by that. And we're going to make sure that you understand how offended we were. We are going to, again, the words I'm introducing into the lexicon, politically punish you. You will be punished on behalf of the entire community for your disrespect of our people. You sit here and you see incidents like Jalen Walker. You sit here and you see incidents like Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Aiyana Jones, Freddie Gray, Botham Jean. I could go on naming here the slew and list of black people whose lives have been taken from us. And a lot of times these majority Democratic run cities, and you do nothing for our people in regards to getting justice. You don't think black men are looking at that? And then on top of that, not only do you not do anything to get justice for those people similar to who I have named there, you become an obstructionist to the justice process. That is the most anti-black white supremacist thing you can do. But see, it makes sense because, hey, you got Mr. King crime bill in there, Jim Crow Joe Biden, whose name has been on every crime bill since 1976. And I'm going to say it again because it's up to look at on the congressional record. Jim Crow Joe was so stomped down white supremacists with it when the 94 crime bill was authored, which is the one that did a ton of damage to our community. Some of them brothers and sisters are still locked up right now. Even Strom Thurmond voted against that. The segregationist, white supremacist, former Klansman. Yeah, he voted against it. Oh, I'm going to keep telling that truth. Go ahead and look up Strom Thurmond record. I'm going to say it every time. It's still right there for you to see. So when you look at all of these things in totality as far as how they treat us, telling us what we don't know and all of that, see, now you're going to learn the penalty when you do that. We've taken a lot of abuse for a long time. A long time. A lot of times, we would just be like, all right, yeah, that's just what it is. But see, black men are not going to put up with that anymore. Not foundational black American men. Now, you'll have some off-code non-LBA men to put up with it, but we won't. That day is over with. That day is over with. So if you're listening to the sound of my voice, you might want to think twice before you speak disrespectfully of black men again, because see, particularly here in Georgia, there's going to be a runoff election with Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock. And see, the brothers that did turn out for Stacey Abrams, I'm going to tell you something. I hate to say it, but there is a little bit of integrity in the male boomer crowd. If you start getting disrespectful with them, keep talking crazy and see what happens if that voter turnout it equals what it was for Stacey Abrams to help you keep Weasel Warnock in office. Keep talking. One thing I know is Georgia men, especially the older crowd, yeah, they'll go along to get along and tap dance, but now when you start getting disrespectful and they can sense that, go ahead and play with it and see what happens. Go ahead and play with it. You're going to learn the hard way, so you better get your little Democratic shield, black men hating attack dogs on a leash. You better, because you're going to need them, brothers, and I'm going to do everything I can on this microphone and off of it to make sure that bastard Warnock don't stand a chance in hell. I'm not a Herschel Walker supporter. It's like fish in the frying pan. So it's like either way we screwed with that. But anything to make sure these Democrats suffer. They have to be politically punished. That's it. Let's let Tiffany continue.
Please look at the truth and see what's happening and get in line with some of the black women. Is majority.
Yeah. See, that get in line with the black women. Tiffany, when you said that, sister, and I use the term sister loosely, what you don't understand is there were some sisters pissed off when you said that too. Can't nobody tell me different because I saw the engagement on social media and offline about her making that statement. See, this is why I try to tell a lot of the brothers in some of these online spaces that don't put all black women in the same boat. A lot of times the sisters that are about something, that'll stand up, that have some type of dignity, you just not where they are in these online spaces. In these online spaces, because we don't see this gender war crap offline. You need to be in the spaces where you can see the sisters saying, hey, no, whoa, hold on. A lot of people checked this heifer when she did that. I remember it. I saw it with my own eyes, right? So when she made that silly statement, you got a lot of sisters over here that know they need black men because, see, think about it. Every other group works as a unit against us. And what you're saying is, hey, let me, the woman, go and be on the front line and the men stand behind our skirts. Ain't no sister in this chat room signing up for that with no sense. Why should they have to bear all the brunt where that's our job? So no, Tiffany, that goes to show you how disconnected from the average black woman that she is. I don't know if she's married or not, but I doubt it. Because the dude that she married to, if that's how she talking in that household, man, listen here, I already know what the business is. Let's let her continue.
Pretty, like he said, vote Democrat. But that margin of people who could be plucked away from your people and go advance policies that harm your people, I just don't understand that. And
now, now that we've gotten that out the way, and shout out to everybody that donated. Again, I will take the time to say this. how I usually do things, anybody that contributes to the broadcast, I will wait about an hour or so and put your names on the community tab of the broadcast or what have you, So I usually, I try to keep the flow of the show going, but I may start shouting you guys out because a lot of times I have to stop and check and everything, but we might start doing that. But thank you to all of you that did contribute, but I got to get to this. Now, why do I have Thanos on the screen with the Infinity Gauntlet, with all the gems on there? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because it's Thanos time. Oh, yeah. See, the image that they need to have in their minds when they come when playing towards black men, it needs to be Thanos. You need to know that he not somebody you going to come playing and joking around with. Fictional character, but bear with me. My point is, they should understand that we are something to take serious. Oh, yeah, it's time to put that gauntlet on and snap and take half. They owe us more than half. It's tax time. We need to take about 75% as far as I'm concerned. They got so much catching up to do because, see, look, you should all be insulted when you go on those sites again. You know what? Let me go ahead for the people that might have just popped in here. Let me put that website back in so you can see how much when they talking about, ooh, we ain't got it. Yeah, go on here. I want everybody to become familiar with this website. foreignassistancegov here. Go on in here and look at this website. I'm going to put this back in here so that you can see how offended you should be when they start talking about what they can't do and what they not going to do. Nah, you doing it for everybody else that's not a taxpaying American citizen. You need to understand that, right? Every one of you in here is a taxpaying American citizen. Why in the hell should we have to be told next time get to the back of the line when these are our taxpayer dollars on top of the legally owed debt of reparations that you owe us? Nah, it's Thanos time. It's time to punish them for that. We're not going to sit here and allow you to play with us like that anymore. That time is over with. And see, when it comes to dealing with these people, a public talking about you don't vote for me, you ain't black. No, we're gonna have to tax these people, man. Get comfortable with political punishment. That's what we're gonna have to get comfortable doing to these people. Because see, they've been disrespectful for far too long. And see, that brings me to something else I want to deal with here. Yeah, I got to do it. Talcum X. I know this might offend some people, but I got to get on Talcum X. And I'm putting this up here for a reason. Y'all know anything that I put in my broadcast to mention is for teaching purposes, right? Talcum X over here, which go to show you he's in alignment with that damn Democratic Party. I caught this tweet at random and I said, oh no, I got to put you on the summer down screen, buddy. You got to go on up here, Talcum. Very sad to report that Stacey Abrams has lost the Georgia governor's race by her own fault to Brian Kemp. It's been called by several groups and experts I trust. Oh, you trust them, huh, Talcum? Why you trust them so much, huh? An incredibly painful loss for Georgia. Who? Who? Painful loss? But did you see the title of this broadcast? We ain't singing the blues down here. Oh, no, not at all. Not black men or black women. Ain't none of us singing the blues down here, especially those of us on code. And a painful loss for Georgia. Man, if you don't get out of here for women's rights, no, ain't nobody with deleting our children. We for making responsible choices so that we can get our numbers up. Yeah, that's what we for over here, Talcum. In Georgia, they're talking about that, man. If you don't get out of here for voting rights, how, Talcum? How is voting rights threatened? They claim they had such a huge turnout, which I do not believe that Biden had more of a turnout than Barack Obama. Our voting rights are not threatened. People are able to vote. You can vote just fine here in Georgia. There were no issues. I'm here. I know. There were no problems voting in Georgia in any capacity at all. None. And see, again, this is the perfect time for me to bring this up since people keep talking about voting rights are threatened. They're going to take away your right to vote. Okay, cool. Next time some jackass comes saying that to you, family, this is what I want you to start doing. Because, see, a lot of times, this is why I feel for us and our people so much. You can get disrespected so long and conditioned to accepting it that you don't critically think when these people are coming in your faces. So when they come in your face is talking about voting rights, this is what you hit them with. You say, listen, okay, cool, I hear you. You say our voting rights, oh, master gonna take them away. Oh, Lord, what is we gonna do? Here's what you tell them, solution based. If the voting rights are being threatened so much, so often, why don't you push to have it made a permanent amendment in the Constitution? Hit them in the face with that and watch how they react. I've done it several times. They look like deers in head. I'm like, okay, it's such a problem because see, think about it, right? Just speaking from the men point of view, right? When we see problems as men, one of the primary things as men we're supposed to do is be problem solvers, right? Right, brothers? We problem solvers, right? Those of us that are worth our balls, problem solvers. So if I see a problem occurring over and over again, common sense is going to tell me, hey, you know what? Damn, I need to do something about this problem. Let me figure out a solution. Oh, I know, voting rights are under such attack. How about we make it a permanent part of the Constitution? Our rights should be just like white folks. They don't have to worry about voting rights. Because it's a lie anyway, but I'm just saying, since it's so, let's get it off the table then. We shouldn't have to have this every year. Oh, vote like your life depends on it. They're going to take your rights. Okay, why are they taking our rights from you? Congressional Black Caucus? If you listen, this is your job. Start pushing. Why them bastards ain't never pushed for that? Ask yourself that, right? Make them push to have it a permanent part of the Constitution. Okay, that's something we need to start telling them. Like, all right, cool, let's solve this problem. Let's get that off the table. That shouldn't have to be on the table every time we come around the same old stuff. See, this is why it's so insulting when you see so many of our people still falling for this stuff, because it's the same con game. They shouldn't be able to fool you the same way over and over and over again, brothers and sisters. And I know there's nobody here in this chat, right? So in the Talcum's tweet here, he was talking about the voting rights and Georgia being threatened and so much more. But see, Talcum, you can take offense to it if you hear this or not. Brother, let me ask you a question, Talcum. If you are so concerned about what's going on with black people and voting Democrat, then why don't you become an advocate for the things on our agenda? See, you can't just keep telling us to vote blue no matter who. Fuck them Smurfs. We ain't with that. I ain't know, man. La 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 la. No, I ain't with the Smurfs. Nah, the Smurf theme song for a lot of y'all don't know. I ain't with that, man. The Smurfs gonna have to come up out them tangibles. They're gonna have to come with it, man. I need that bread. I need it. Feed it. Give it to now. I'm doing very well, but I'm just saying, I still need it. I need to be doing even better. All of y'all in this chat need to be doing even better. I want my people to be where they're supposed to be in this country. And see, Talcum, you probably on their payroll. I can't prove it. But if you caping so hard like that caping mighty tight around that little old pale neck of yours, buddy, you boy, I don't know, man. I think they couldn't Talcum a check. What you think, man? I don't know. Hey, y'all be the judge. I'm just saying, man. Caping mighty hard, man. So, I mean, you know, these are my concerns. Again, before I move to the next segment here, when it come up to that issue of them damn voting rights, tell these bastards that, okay, let's get something drafted where we just put it a permanent part of the Constitution. We can do that. They can do it now if they want to. Okay? So that's what I want to get off the table about that. But see, here's something else we got to get into next coming up here, right? I want y'all to get ready for this, because y'all knew it was coming. Y'all know I had to get him. Y'all know I had to get him. The last king of chicken wings himself. And if you think this is bad, boy, you wait till tomorrow broadcast. Oh, man, I'm going to light his fat ass up. I ain't trying to be politically correct or cool with this disrespectful bastard. Because, see, now, buddy, I'm going to focus my attention on you and them damn Democrats. Oh, yeah, they probably going to call me Republican all the time over here, even though y'all know my stance on things. But it's time to be disrespectful. I don't owe you no respect. Let's listen to this fat bastard.
So if y'all think I'm joking, if y'all saying there only go trying to scare us, there he go.
Before I let him continue, listen, man, let me ask any of you Generation X people in here from my generation, Generation X. Remember the Nintendo Entertainment System? You remember the first game you got with the Super Mario Brothers? You remember them cheaps, the little cheap villain, the little fish looking villain on there? Don't he look like one of them? Yeah, he really do. The little red one, that's exactly what he looked like. Man, he do. Y'all know he do. See this thing that he talking about here He talking about if y'all get out there, y'all don't vote. Oh, yeah, man, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to let him do his own talking.
Fear mongering. Oh, and let me go ahead and say, y'all can go to that little reparations rally on, say, November 5th.
We did, Roland, and it wasn't so little, you fat bastard.
Y'all ain't getting nothing, not even HR 40. If that.
What have we gotten with the Democrats, fat boy? See, listen, man. Listen, dog. Look. People keep trying not to do it. I don't know why. I got to do it. He was eating pretty good off the Democrat payroll checks that they were getting, man. You know, so I think that, you know, when he have a full plate in front of him, he got his little Debbie snacks all around him, man. All types of soda with fructose corn syrup in it. He got a smorgasbord, you know what I'm saying, sitting around, and he be thinking that everybody else got something. No, Roland, you eating good. We trying to get like you, fat boy. I mean, now, I don't want to lose no neck. Now, I need my neck now. You know, I ain't going to have people running around trying to guess where my neck is at. But my point is, we need some of that smorgasbord action you got, big boy. Yeah. We need some of that, man. Look at him, man. Look, this, you know what? I got to do this because we got the business out the way. I got to be petty. Don't this boy look like a milk dud with a beard? Look at him. No, I'm going to get disrespectful with it. Let me ask this question, man. Which one of you ladies in this chat would be confident if this was the man that you had to settle for and marry for as handling business? Little old spineless coward. You set your fat ass up there in front of Richard Spencer, and when he asked you what you was, I'm a Christian. I'm a wind up toy doll. Man, you was everything except for a black man, wasn't you, fat boy? And then too, when it come to dealing with his people, when we saw what was going on down there at the border in Haiti, you would have thought that if he had any type of pride in his people, he would have been vocal about that. It took him a long time to say something about that, and when he did, it was a flash in the pan. So my point is, and I've said this before and I'm going to say it again, if you are a tether over here, tether meaning people that try to undermine foundational black Americans, not all black immigrants, if you are in the tether class over here, you do not qualify as a man. I am going to get disrespectful and say it because, see, if you over here with foundational black American men in our country where we didn't run from, and you start criticizing us like this little milk dud head bastard here with no neck, that boy, that's the greatest mystery on earth. I don't understand how that boy, you don't have the right to talk at the table with grown men. You don't. You a boy. You sit over here in the kitty corner. You can't handle grown man affairs because if you could, you would have been back home where you was. Let's let this fool keep talking.
They control the House and the Senate. Zero. You ain't get HR 39, 40, 41, 42, 45. You can rewrite it all day. You can have.
It's a study, jackass. It ain't reparations.
Darity. You can have Event Antonio. They can do whatever they want. You will get nothing.
And we wasn't getting that with the Democrats. And see, look at this. I paused this right here because, see, I want you to understand why I'm getting on the way I'm getting with this little sassy ass. This is the problem with black immigrants like him. The tethers. I ain't gonna even say immigrants. Tethers. The tethers like him. They're used to being told no. And well, Master said no, we can't get nothing. What did they say? Master said no, we can't get nothing. You used to sitting there. As soon as these white folks tell you know about something, you buckle under and crumble. Had our ancestors and elders did that, none of y'all would be over here. Let me tell y'all something right now for those of you that are tethers listening to this broadcast. Foundational black American men don't fold like that. We build, we fight back. We over here outnumbered, man, in this country, man, and have been for a long time, and we still don't roll over and lay down like this. This is an embarrassment to black manhood. Every time I look at this and every time I talk about him, I'm going to make sure that any young black person that hears this understand that this is the poster child for black male failure. You are a disgrace to our uniform and wearing our skin. I don't call this piece of shit a brother because he is a disgrace. You think about any young black person that looks at this man. How you going to be proud looking at somebody begging and scraping to these people like this? You see what's going on in the Democratic Party. You don't criticize them on nothing. See, it would be one thing if the man said, hey, look, I lean over here with the Democrats, but I am going to try to call them out on some things. I'm going to speak up for our people. You don't do that, Roland. That's why you don't get no respect from our people. Yeah, let's let him finish.
Because not one Republican even remotely supports reparations.
That's not the only thing that we dealing with.
What y'all gonna tweet about?
We ain't gonna do too much tweeting, Roland. We ain't gonna do too much tweeting. We get offline and actually get shit done. Unlike you, fat boy, chasing your next plate.
Oh, and lastly,
Want a bet? Want a bet, fat boy? See, when you see this little bug-eyed bastard talking like that, go ahead and look over what our brothers and sisters shout out to California got going on. Oh, no, that's going to be black specific. It's going to be lineage specific on top of that. And that's just the beginning. See, you keep talking about what we not going to get and what we not going to have and all of that. I tell you what, we'll show you better than we can tell you. We've been doing that for a long time. That's in our bloodline. To show you better than we can tell you.
But by all means, don't vote and see what happens.
What gonna happen, Roland? Huh? What gonna happen, Roland? Tell us. See, when you hear him doing this, this is a little spineless parasite that has been a failure most of his life at everything that he sought out to accomplish, and he has to hang off of that Democratic Party for his daily bread. He not talking because he's concerned about what's gonna happen. He's talking saying, hey, listen, if you don't get out here, I'm not gonna get my snack check. That's what that's all about. I just want y'all to know what he's saying.
If you're white, black, Latino, Asian, African American, if you're progressive, if you actually...
Why he sitting up here with them little old Tootsie Roll fingers over there naming out all this stuff? Fat boy, we don't have the same agenda as all them people that you got lined up. It's team black first over here all day long. We don't have time to worry about no other groups. What them other communities do, that's their problem. When Joe Biden came in here, think back to the beginning of this broadcast, and if you just came in here and you didn't see it, go and look at the beginning. When I showed you those executive orders, I did it for a reason. Those were all the people that got something. Let the Democrats go to the people that they did something for, Roland. Don't come asking us for nothing. From now on, you don't ask people for black people for anything that you didn't do for us. That's the new way of saying. Whatever you ask us for, you better have reciprocated. That's how it's gonna be.
America for your children, you better defeat every single MAGA-loving Republican who's on the ballot.
We're not afraid of the Republicans like you, Roland. We don't run around with our head down scared to do, oh my God, it's Republicans. Listen, man, we've been dealing with racism and white supremacy in this country since its inception. And the one thing that we haven't been is afraid. That's you and your people. See, one thing that I'm not going to let any of these tellers do, especially the men, don't you project your futile, broken, cowardly mentality over here on those of us who are foundational black American men that actually still have a damn spine. You take off running from your countries a lot of time, and then you sit there, man. Look, I've said it before. If you're in a situation where you got to leave and you send your women and your children away, cool, I get that. But the men are supposed to stay and hold the line and fix things. You're supposed to have some pride in where you come from so that you can have something for your children to come back. You leave and then let other people take their birthright. What the hell you got to tell one of us, Roland?
Because they don't have any love for us.
And you don't either, fat boy.
And vote like your ancestors died for. Zoom it out.
Oh, whoa, 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 no, 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 no. That shit right there, family, listen, let me tell you something, man. When you hear one of these tellers talking about politics, bring up our ancestors, I don't know about y'all, but that set my blood on fire. First of all, our ancestors are not the same, fat boy. And as far as your ancestors, you a disgrace to them. Because Haiti was the first country to free themselves of slavery. You damn sure don't live up to that. Can you imagine this fat bastard back in that time period standing next to Jean-Jacques Dessalines? We already know what would have happened to him.
Maybe if we talk to him, John, I don't know, John. You know, they did feed me a little bit.
Yeah, fuck you, Roland. You can go to hell. Don't you dare talk about my ancestors as if they come from your cowardly stock, because you're a disgrace to your own people. Haitians should be ashamed of you, man. Every time they see you on TV dancing around, I'm gonna light him up tomorrow. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. This is just a preview, cause I got to make sure he understand exactly how we feel about his ass over here. Let's let him finish.
Zoom it out.
Amen.
I wore the shirt for a reason.
And ladies and gentlemen, you see what I got on the screen right here too, don't you? Huh? I put it on the screen for a reason. Fuck you, pay me. Sincerely, black people. That's what type of time we on over here, ladies and gentlemen. It is long overdue for us to stand up and reclaim our self-respect as foundational black American people. It is long overdue to make these bastards pay what they owe with interest. It is long overdue for these people to understand that anytime you engage with us, it will be with an air of respect. You will reciprocate when you ask us of something, or you will understand that you will go to where the people that you did do something for. That whole free ride stuff, no more free rides. It's political punishment time for all the malevolent neglect that you have inflicted on our people. That's what time it is. That's what time it is. From now on, ladies and gentlemen, don't take that land down. We have set a brand new standard that should continue on as a tradition. There's a lot of work to be done, and we've got a good stride and stream of momentum behind us. Let's keep it going. I've given you some helpful information here in the chat tonight. Rewind this broadcast and play it back and act on it and get with like minds. Okay? Hopefully, some of you that were in here went to the Foundational Black American Reparations Rally. Okay, hopefully you can get together with other brothers and sisters where you are and start doing whatever it is that you can with your different skill sets. Put your skill sets together and do whatever it is that you can do to empower our people, because it's time. It's time. And we're going to make it clear that Roland Martin and the rest of these flunkies don't speak for us. With that said, brothers and sisters, I appreciate and respect everybody that donated to the broadcast. Everybody that came into attendance tonight here, I apologize for the technical difficulties, but I wasn't going to leave you hanging. And probably tomorrow, if not tomorrow, definitely it's going to be very soon. I have another broadcast coming where I'm going to be talking about the Kyrie Irving situation, and we will be talking about the rally for reparations also. So with that said, brothers and sisters, that's been the end of this episode of the Black Ocean. I will see you all in future content.